Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. I am walking. Let me send this out. Like I said before, it always seems like I'm... Alright, cool, let's walk. So we are here at Santee Lakes near San Diego. It is a community that is in eastern San Diego County, and this is actually a very popular place for locals to go fishing. It is in the migration path of migratory birds. It is a nature preserve. Migration path of migratory birds. It is a nature preserve, and there is a lot of goose poop I'm noticing around on the sidewalk. So people come here for parties and events. The community hosts events here throughout the year. They bring in fake snow and here throughout the year. They bring in fake snow and have Santee at the lakes. Lots of different community events. So let me get you positioned so you can watch the lake while I watch the... Welcome. Thanks for joining me. You'll see families, fishermen there on that little island. And when I get to the informational, I'll show you what it says about the different life. Nice Saturday walk. Good morning. So those could be for bats, maybe owls. I'm not 100% sure on the shape, what kind of animal it would attract, but you can see across the way as well, there's like a little bridge, and there's little fish that would attract, but you can see across the way as well, there's like a little bridge, and there's little fake rocks. That is for... Welcome in, guys. Let's go. I'm going to stay in the grass a little bit, but I will point you towards the lake. Now, this part's a little sloped, so I'm going to have to go higher or lower. Somebody on a little paddle boat. You can rent the paddle boats here. As oh wow, something jump up out of water. Let's go down here and see what. Let's go down here and see what's up. Typically there's turtles in the water, but the turtles are not native. They are potentially people's pets that were released in the water. Right now I just see dragonflies and mucky water. Alright, let's go. We can go back up to the sidewalk. And I'll point you to the lake while I watch for the goose poop on the sidewalk. So this lake, or these lakes, there's 7 lakes. Ooh, we're coming up on a flock of geese. These lakes are actually a preserve, so you are not allowed to walk your dogs in the general area. If you are camping at the lakes, you can bring your dog to the campground and you can walk at the campground with your dog on a leash. Now, I have not been here while the geese were here, so we're going to proceed with caution. Oh, aren't they cool? So we're going to proceed with caution. Oh, aren't they cool? Look at that. Now, this little guy, he's looking like, does he want to be on camera or what? So people might complain about the bird poop on the sidewalk, but since it is a preserve, complain about the bird poop on the sidewalk, but since it is a preserve, bad. You just have to deal. Honestly, there's people who walk their dogs, they don't kitchen, and they leave their dog poop behind. So, welcome guys to Santee Lakes in Santee, California. It is located in the eastern part of San Diego County. Welcome, Jaron. Welcome, Jaron. Welcome, Amanda. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the heart me. So this is a very popular place for locals. They have events throughout the year for the community. Sometimes the events are free, but then there's a park. Sometimes the events are free, but then there's a parking fee. So you see this has a for the dog walk. So for the there is a campground just down the way, and when you camp here you can bring your dog, but whenever you're at the campground it has to be on a leash. There is a horseshoe pit. Let's go to this informational and I'll show you some of the amenities that are featured on the sign. Informational, and I'll show you some of the amenities that are featured on the sign. This is week 5. So you can see all the different things available at the lakes. Welcome, welcome guys. Thanks for coming in. We are in Santee, California. It is located in eastern San Diego County, and here is a map showing Santee Lakes. It seems like they're actually having an organized event here today. You can get permits and host events here at the lakes. Looks like it might be horseshoe competition. So they do have some nice horseshoe pits that stay here permanently. So the public is allowed to come and use the horseshoe pits, as well as arrange for private events, horseshoe pits, as well as arrange for private events or even public events. So usually the Department of Park and Recreation will not sponsor but allow larger events that are for the benefit of the community, and then the organizer of the event will pay the fees, etc., and then host the event. Let me show you this tree here. This is a pretty cool tree. I don't even know what it is, but look at those flowers. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming by, guys. We're just don't know what it is, but look at those flowers. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming by, guys. We're just left up here. We would be entering the campground area. We are not going to go in there. We're going to go to the right and head into the day use area. But you can see there is a fundraiser today for the Lions Club pancake breakfast. So if you were visiting this area, you could attend the pancake breakfast. And that's actually something, whenever you're visiting another area, check for local events. You could immerse yourself in the local community by participating in some of those smaller activities, helping even fundraising for local organizations. We're going to walk back this way and see the Canadian geese again. So here is an informational about the lakes. Look back, 1927 to 1960 looks like, 62. So they're showing the different information about how the lakes came about and how they evolved. So it says agriculture was the primary use of land in Santee up to the 1940s. With the construction of the El Capitan Dam, the local aquifer dried up, which had supplied the farmers with more than enough water. Santee transformed from a dairy farming area to the fastest growing town in San Diego County in terms of housing development. So I don't know if you ever notice, even around your neighborhood, streets are named after people that have helped build or establish the community. So next time you're around in your community, okay, we're going to go around these little buddies again because this is a nature preserve, so we do not want to disturb them at all. We will take advantage and take a look at them at all. We will take advantage and take a look at these migratory birds that come to the lakes during their migration. So this is a popular area for families to come, even if they're just walking, going out for the day. You can enter from a side gate. Good morning. And not pay the admission fee. Or I believe the new restaurant here will take or give you credit. The new restaurant here will take or give you credit for your admission towards a free beverage, like a soda or something. Welcome Sherry, welcome Hagen. Good morning Sky. Good morning Travel with Shaw. I'm assuming that's Sean. Sometimes it cuts off the names. So today we are at Santee Lakes, and I will walk and let you guys enjoy the view while I work on my cardio. And I always say that and then I start talking again. So I work from home, so my exercise routine at my own fault, has become less and less. So this is a great opportunity for me to show you the lakes. So this area is more of the plain area. We're going to be moving over to where the general store is, and they sell bait and fishing stuff and other amenities and products that you might need for camping, because there is a campground here. At the campground, they also have floating cabins. I've been here for a while, and when my kids were little, they actually had built those rocks there at Santee. The view. If you are new here, I would love for you to give me a follow. Tap the screen. If you are new here, I would love for you to give me a follow. Tap the screen. That duck, that paddle boat, from the little paddle boats. The fishing is either from the docks that are around paddle boats. The fishing is either from the docks that are around or the shore. If you don't want to pay the admission and drive in, you can park at the auxiliary gate. If you don't want to pay the admission and drive in, you can park at the auxiliary gate and walk in. I think there are different areas where you can walk in. And then there's one main entrance for drive-in. If you are camping here, you will also have an access code to the camping entrance gate. I hope those parents are not allowing the kids to chase E. They are. Okay, so this area is more of where you're going to find camping registration, the general store. There are plenty of nice clean restrooms. That is the road where you would park and walk in. So I parked there and walked in. The admission is not super expensive, but if you come often, it adds up. I think the highest rate for a car is $8. If you come in an RV or camper, it is more expensive. So here you see the picnic area is reserved. So if you're coming to use the park for the day, you would not want to set up in one of the areas that is reserved, because they have reserved, and I think there is a fee associated with that, because they have reserved, and I think there is a fee associated with that. The little rental paddle boats. A dragon, swan, duck. Humans do not teach their children what is and is not appropriate with wildlife. Yeah. Santee Lakes. Cool thing too is this is very family friendly. And these appear to be made out of like vinyl, so they're gonna last a long time. There's a nice table here too. Even though there's a lot of goose poop around here, it doesn't stink like goose poop. Here comes a little duck, and then the swan is over there motoring around as well. All right, let's walk. Oh, look at, they even have free sunscreen. I never noticed that. Free sunscreen. Nice. And then it has a sign, take a photo of yourself enjoying the lakes. Get some free duck food from the general store when you're done. Cool. So if you tag yourself on the paddle boats, then you can pick up some duck food at the lakes. That's pretty cool. So the deck looks like it's pretty controlled, but it is open right now. So let's walk through. It looks like they have live music on Saturdays. And then here we have more of the lakes. There are 7 lakes total, and I believe 6 and 7 are in the camping area. Even if you are not camping here, you can walk around lakes 6 and 7. It's just less scenic because it's all campground. And then you see the hillside around us. Some of that is actually government property, part of the Marine Corps base at Miramar. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. We are at Santee Lakes. Thanks for coming in, Amy. If you're new here, I'd love to have you give me a follow. Today we are on a local adventure in a community named Santee. I saw that guy's bobber and I thought it was a fish. Then I realized it was a bobber. I don't think he caught anything. He just cast out there. So they do reload the lake with fish, and they do announce that so people can come and watch when the fish are being reloaded. One of the complaints that I've heard, but I'm not a fisherman so I don't know for sure, is that welcome Dr. Sharon, that when they are I don't know the actual term, but when they're putting more fish into the lake, the ducks come and eat all the fish. And now that there are geese here, I'm sure that it's more of a problem because I'm pretty sure geese eat fish as well. So it is a preserve, so there's no swimming in the lake, there's no boating in the lake. The only recreational activities allowed are renting the paddle boats and fishing. Fishing, you are allowed to fish from the different piers that they have around the lake. They have like little pontoon piers or docks, I guess they call them. And then you can also fish from the shore. It is pretty popular. I mean, I think people might just come out for rest and relaxation. I'm not sure that there are a lot of fish caught, but they do have tournaments as well. So you can drive in or you can walk in, and there is a fee for drive-in. Here they have a game here out on the deck. You could play Connect 4. There are little rental paddle boats out there. The area is huge. Lots of opportunity for walking. And then lots of trash cans, recycling bins, clean restrooms, well-stocked restrooms. When my kids were small, I would bring them to the playground over here. The parking rate used to be free for residents. So when they were little, that was a nice free activity. Just drive over here. And here you see skeleton ready for Halloween. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. Appreciate it. I'm walking and talking, so I'm going at a slower pace so you don't hear me like huff and puff. But I figured I would stop by the lakes on the way to work, going into the office just to do a few little projects. Nothing mandatory, so since it was my choice, I feel like more motivated to do it. But families come out here to enjoy the lakes. There are miscellaneous benches and chairs around. There are paddle boats for rent. There are the only activities allowed on the lake are fishing, but no boating. So you're fishing from the docks or the shoreline. These lakes are a preserve, so they are in the path of the migratory birds. So plenty of migratory birds show up here during the winter. And then we have local resident mallard ducks. The males are the ones with the beautiful teal heads. The females are the ones with the brown body and brown head. And oh, earlier I said the coot has a yellow beak, but it's actually white. So you see that little earlier I said the coot has a yellow beak, but it's actually white. So you see that little waterfowl that's black with gray wings, black head, gray wings, and a white beak. That is a coot. There are other birds here too, but the most prevalent are the ducks and the geese. And then lots of opportunity for exercise. Scooters, bicycles, but I think the bikes need to go in the street. The speed limit inside the park is, I believe, the typical 5 to 15 miles per hour. Typically, everybody is very respectful about watching for bikes. So it's typically everybody is very respectful about watching for bikes. So it's pretty safe. You can walk in on your bike for free through the side access gate. You can go in and out. If you are camping here, you'll have a code to go in and out through the gate. Majority of the camp spots are RV, but they also have tent camping and floating cabins, as well as cabins on land. So if that is some sort of little, yeah, it's super quiet here today, Dr. Sharon. If that is something that you would like to have as like a little mini vacation, you can look that up, santeelakes.com, and they have all the rental and reservation information there. Outside of the park, there are plenty of amenities, shops, restaurants. What else would somebody need? Grocery stores, all in like regular price range, not resort town type. So the cabins that are out here are actually very popular. They do sell out quickly. But if there are last minute reservation cancellations, then they post and say, oh, thank you for the goat. Thank you, thank you. And then try to have people come and rent them last minute in case people have canceled. They are not necessarily cheap because it does include all the amenities at the campground. Not anything like free paddle boat, but it does include the showers. There's a swimming pool in the camping area. I believe there's like a little laundry room. So if you were to rent the cabin, there are fee-based washing machines and dryers. Some people actually live in their RVs and have long-term camping at the campground. Oh, excuse me. And that would be for about 6 months, I believe, is the limit. And there actually are a few RV parks around this area that the people will switch off between. My daughter had a friend in high school. Her family lived in an RV by choice because they, the husband worked out of town, and the wife, either she worked from home or she didn't work outside the home. I don't remember. But that way they could have their space in the campground and then hook up the trailer and go to wherever the dad was working and then visit over there. And so they would switch campgrounds every 6 months. And they had a, I think it was a fifth wheel, so it was pretty big. Bigger than some people's houses. Very affordable too. So these lakes are in the migration path for migratory birds. So they might come and stop here, or they might stop and then keep moving south. At this stage, oh, actually at this stage it's becoming winter, so maybe the geese have just arrived again. And after winter, of course, whichever migratory birds stop here, they would be heading back north. So maybe early spring. There are gazebos here too, and typically under the gazebos there are picnic benches, and you can reserve those for parties on the weekends. It's great because a lot of families may live in apartments or condominiums, and that allows for a spot to have a nice party and then a place for the kids to run around. Welcome, Lois. Yes, I know, isn't it amazing? So top tier. You should try living in a schoolie. Hey, Lois. So let's give you that. I got my little soundboard up now, so send you guys out a cheer now and then. Share out the live. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. I think I'll be here maybe about 20 more minutes. Oh yeah, exactly, because I've been here already 40 minutes and my plan was an hour. Trying to make sure I become more adept at using these different buttons on the live. This is Santee Lakes in Santee, California. It is a preserve. Oh, you could hear the jets from Miramar. So that land way off in the distance, those hills, that is government land. That is the U.S. Marine Corps land from Miramar. And Miramar is the Marine Corps Air Station. So from my house, I can actually hear them doing their training every morning with their pew-pews. Thank you, Lois. It is. It's very peaceful. Very pretty, calm. You can rent those little paddle boats. I don't know the rates on that, but there is a campground with tent camping. Majority are RV spaces. And I believe the cabins are, there's about 10 cabins and 5 floating and 5 on the shoreline. If it's 12 though, then it's 6 and 6. So this is a great place for families because they do also have ADA compliant playground, and they also have a sensory garden. Let's walk down this way. Well, let's see what this is. What is this box? Oh, little free library. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these, but if you look on the website later, we love TikTok Shop, don't go there now. You would sit there till you become friends with the duck. It's probably possible. You can come up to these libraries and get a book and give a book. So if you wanted to read something for the day, you just look on in here and see. My niece has one actually that she had installed at my mom's house. So if you look on the registry, you can actually find these in your neighborhood. They're usually built by citizens and installed. Okay, so here we have a sign that says Lake 4 will be to the right and Lake 5 will be to the left. And you can see they're talking about the migratory birds. So these are opportunities where so you know when we're in someone's live and everybody's complaining about why aren't the kids in school? How come the kids aren't in school? This is a perfect opportunity for education outside of school. Honestly, this is like, you could build a whole educational module just from visiting some place like this. You can talk about the trees, the plants, the water, the migration, all the different kinds of animals, conservation related to the animals, to the water, resources, all the things. You can also talk about health and fitness because they have the paddle boats, and you can do your health and fitness renting a paddle boat, talking about food intake and energy output with walking around the lakes. I used to be a preschool teacher, and some people think, oh, they're just babysitters. But we had to make lesson plans, and we had annual meetings with the parents, just like at traditional grade school, where we would talk to the parents about what the kids are learning, how they're learning it, and what these lesson plans mean to their children. Here is some more of the look back, and this talks about the water conservation and the story of Santee Lake's water. It is a water treatment facility, and then they talk about all the different stages of that water treatment. Oh wow, so it says the different stages, 1, 2, 3, all the way up through 7. It takes about 24 hours. Title 22 compliance and result 2 million gallons of water per day. So they are recycling 40% of the wastewater stream from Santee residents and businesses. I don't know what they use the water for though, because I don't think it's in our tap. Fun fact, our water district, which is Padre Dam, is one of the most expensive in the nation. But supposedly, fees, taxes, and payments that we pay to Padre Dam do not support the lakes. The lakes are supported through the amenities that people use here. So that would be the admission cost, the camping fees, the boat rentals, the fees they charge the restaurant owner to be here. I kind of don't believe that 100%. But this is a beautiful place that I used to bring my kids when they were little. And I figured I would stop by here and show it to you guys. This is the main hub, what I consider the main hub, but there are other places to stop on the way. If you look across this lake, you see there's like a double awning gazebo over there. That is the ADA compliant playground. Welcome, thank you for the gift. And around that area is also the sensory garden, and it includes signs in Braille, and planted there are plants that are more aromatic. I should try to walk over there. That's going to take more than 20 minutes. Now let's go. Okay, hold on, people. Sorry, I didn't mean to whip you around like that. I don't know the actual distance around the lakes, but you can pick any distance you like, because as far as bike riding or walking, it's pretty paved or has compressed granite, so it's fine for strollers, bikes, scooters, wheelchairs, and walking. Oh, he caught something. I know nothing about fish, but he's definitely taking a photo. You want me to take a picture of you with your fish?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's get over to this. There's also a bridge. I don't think I've been on that bridge. Good morning. I'm going into my office today. I don't have any specific time I have to be there because I pretty much do what I want. But it's a project that I wanted to work on. I ran it by my boss and she's fine with it. She lives in Arizona, so I don't expect anybody to be at the office. That way I can get more done in a shorter amount of time. So there is a little bridge. See that little bridge? And that leads across over to that little island. And at the little island is picnic benches and stuff. We're kind of going into the sun, so it's a little bit difficult to see. But there's palm trees, which it looks like they did a great job trimming them up. Palm trees, picnic benches, hot coals bin, so there must be a barbecue there. So if you bring supplies, you could barbecue there for the day, clean up after yourself, and put your hot coals in the bin, clean it up, ready for the next guest. I do not think you need to, yeah, it's super, it's really flat here too. I don't think you need to make a reservation for the barbecues. And then the boxes on the trees here, I'm pretty sure those are for bats. If it was owls, they usually put them higher up on like a pole. I think the owl boxes are 20 feet up. Okay, listen. You can hear the waterfowl. This looks like the preferred spot for the coot, and that's what those little birds are. Honestly, this place has been very well maintained, very clean. They're always adding new docks. So you see there's a gazebo on that dock over there, like a shade cover. That's fairly new. So they're constantly upgrading, adding new things, making it more user-friendly for the community. Again, you can walk in and it's free. And that's on purpose. It's not like you're trying to sneak. Then if you camp here, you have access to all of the lakes. You have in and out. There is a code for the gate, The gate is for camper access only, so you could go out to dinner out in town and then come back, or go shopping or whatever you need to do. The code, I believe, is 24/7. And then yeah, this is like really popular place for families. If you bring all your stuff and you just drive in with your carload of people, it's $8. Of course, you can bring all your picnic stuff. Let's go check out this bridge. When I used to bring my kids, this bridge actually wasn't here. But let's go check out this bridge. The maiden voyage of my feet across the bridge. Again, we are at Santee Lakes in Santee, California. I wrote an article about Santee Lakes, and it was published in an online travel magazine. Unfortunately, that travel magazine is now defunct. It was sold and subsequently closed. So here we can walk across the bridge to this little island, and this is also a spot where you could fish, and there is a person fishing over here, so we will be quiet. There is a memorial here that's pretty cool. In loving memory of Mr. and Mrs. Alvin James Vildebill, Sr. Improvements on this island are provided for the enjoyment of the public and have been dedicated to Santee Lakes Regional Park and Campground, July 4th, 1984. Wow. But I've never been here. The heck? How would we get to the bridge or get to the island before the bridge? So some of the areas, like where you rent the paddle boats, they have more growth of the plant material along the coast or the bank. So I think sometimes they have to do like a cleanup project. All right, let me pay attention to the chat. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Today we're at Santee Lakes. Us meaning me and you. Santee Lakes in Santee, California. Welcome, KP. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for sending over the likes. Appreciate it. Wow, we're at 3.7. So I'm enjoying just as you're enjoying, not checking all the stats. So that's a nice little surprise. All right, we're gonna go. Oh, here's one of the bat boxes close up. I think they put an emblem on there because it is as well. So let's look at that actually. And then it has a little wood laser engraved Santee Lakes logo in loving memory of Laura Jane Stevens. Cool. All right, let's keep walking, and we should get to the ADA playground. And the way the ADA playground is ADA is there are stairs, but there are also ramps, really wide ramps, so that children with mobility aids will be able to use the playground going up the ramp. I don't want to go like actually at the playground because in case there's kids, which I see there are, but we'll go closer. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we can just cruise on by, but you can see there's like a little, you can see there's little ramps and stuff up to the main play structures. So I will go ahead and walk by, but probably, oh, we can see the sensory garden. That's what we can look at. And so these areas are reserved as well for parties. So if you are having a party, you can reserve the benches, and then you would set up your awning. All right, let's walk through here. Oh, wow, that's an interesting plant. So you can see there are signs that are high contrast. So if you are low vision, you'll be able to see that better. And you could learn about the plants, but then also there is Braille on the sign. So if you have low vision, you will be able to see the sign, and then if you know Braille, you will be able to read the sign. Copper Canyon Daisy. There aren't any flowers on this at that time. And this is Mother-in-Law's Tongue. Hey Liz, welcome. So again, high contrast and Braille on these signs. These are called flapjacks. You can see why. Now I think that these are meant to be touched. Just don't like tear the plant apart or something. And again, low vision and Braille on the signs. This is the sensory garden. Now I'm not sure what's up with this one. Either a vandal took away the sign or they need to make a new sign.
Take a sip and then go play again, okay?
Watch chain, that's pretty cool. So look at this plant right here. You can see, think of a stopwatch. Felt plant. I feel like I'm zoomed in. And again, high contrast with Braille. And then this plant, you're encouraged to touch. It does feel like felt. Peppermint. Everybody knows peppermint. This one looks like it's a little depleted, but there are a few branches here of the peppermint. Asparagus fern. And Cousin It. Cousin It. It's literally called Cousin It from the Addams family. Okay, let's see what's on the other side. Pepper scented geranium. So you can see why this would be a sensory garden, because it's touch, scent, high contrast, so that if you're low vision, you'll be able to read that. And it includes Braille. And then Society Garlic. I'm sure we've all seen this plant around. You can see it has the purple flowers. Typical garlic stalk. I think they actually call it Society Garlic because it doesn't make you have bad breath. Aloe vera. Again, high contrast, so you can read the sign. And this is typically a medicinal plant where if you have a burn, you can pluck it off, or if you have skin irritations, pluck it off and use it as medicine. Okay, let's point towards the lake so that we're not filming the children. Oh, this is the ramp they use when they're refilling the restocking. That's what it's called, when they stock the lake.
I don't know whether
So they will come up with a truckload of fish, lower that thing, and then they put the fish down that ramp into the lake. Welcome, welcome guys. Sorry I've been showing you the scenery. I wasn't looking at the chat. Let me scroll back, see if there's any questions. We are good. All right, and I noticed my battery's getting low, so I'm gonna go ahead and hightail it to the car, so to speak.
If you touch any color, you're going to get.
I see another tree that I would like to show you. I believe this is called the Japanese lantern tree. And you can see why. Each of those little flowers on the tree looks like a little mini lantern. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get kind of in the shade. And the tree drops those little lanterns as well as yellow flowers, and it's very messy. How do I know? Because they must have been cheap to plant at some point, because nearly every house in my neighborhood has one of those trees. In my neighborhood has one of those trees. Okay, here's a map. The little information about the lakes. About the lakes. And now we are at the kids' playground is at Lake Floor. Lake 4. Okay, I'm going to walk in the grass a little bit, but this is a great place for families to come. Ladies can come and do their chisme catch-up, gossiping, chit-chat, spilling the tea. Trying to see if we see one of the fighter jets. I can hear them, but I don't see them. Let's see. Let me point the camera that way. Maybe you'll see them from Miramar. They're just beyond those clouds. I can hear them. But those are the fighter jets at Miramar Marine Corps Base. Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, I think it's called. The whole while I was growing up, it was called Miramar, I think it's called. The whole while I was growing up, it was called Naval Air Station. Miramar Air Station. And the Marines are part of the Navy, but they completely changed the name. All right, here we have some mallards, some Canadian geese. Oh, somebody got some little duck food, so they're going to come and get that little duck food. And that is the approved food from the store here. That is most likely cracked corn. Birds should not eat bread. Do not feed birds bread. It is not healthy for them and it will kill them. Are they going to keel over the minute they eat it when you feed it to them? No, but over time it will not help them. Again, these are the mallards. The ones with the pretty teal heads are the boys. The ones with the gray head and the brown body are the girls. And if you look closely, you might see a little touch of green or blue, bluish purple on the wings of the girls. And that little Canadian goose is resting. He had a busy morning. All right, let's walk. Oh, there are some planes. They're not fighter jets. Oh, what are they? It's the kind with the propellers on the ends of the wings. Did she make a trail of food to you so they chase you? Hey, I've seen where they attack people, so I'm like walking out in the street.
They're mean, and
yeah.
this is
Oh my.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Oh, I don't care.
She's just trying to look at this. Okay, this is the inside of their mouth. No wonder it hurts so. Look at this is what you're putting your daughter at risk of. What the heck? I know.
Yeah, see, she's like, oh my gosh, let's get out of here.
These are Canadian geese, though. It's different.
Yeah, they're meaner.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see the trash can is labeled for Lake 4, and then there's some gazebos here for a party. There's a little bridge, plenty of parking, more bat boxes up in the tree. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys have one last look. There are communities built on the hill beyond, but then that big empty hillside is government property. One last look and I will end the live. Let me see what we're at here. Ooh, 1 hour and 6 minutes. Great job. Nice little walk. Thank you, Lois. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm just going to be finishing up here, ending the live. My battery is getting low. I do have a battery pack, but my goal was an hour, so I have met that goal, and I'm going to be going into my office. So one last look at the beautiful lake. I think I will be downloading this for my YouTube, so you guys can watch the replay as well. Maybe I'll get a free bag of food if I... Thank you, Lois. Maybe I'll get a free bag of food if I tag the lakes. All right, so we'll just look. Let's see, what's our good ending credits scene? The palm trees, I think. Hey, Zio. Geo. All right, guys, you have a great day. Try to get outside and breathe some fresh air. Even if you just sit on your back patio with a cup of coffee. That's as much as you can muster. If you're not feeling up to it, sometimes a little sunshine will bring you a little bit happier feelings in your heart and your mind. Thank you, Scorpio Queen. You too. Good luck with your endeavors in the network. Get your lifetime in and your 7 days. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, guys. You all have a great day. Oh, the breeze feels amazing. Maybe next time we come, we'll have more migratory birds here since it's just barely starting to be fall.